We are now ready to take the presentation of our headline sponsor. She is a respected Ghanaian entrepreneur, a philanthropist, educationist with over 20 years of experience leading businesses across different industries. Of course, she is the CEO and corporate owner of the American International School, which was formerly Liberty American School, which she started in the year 2013 to give children a strong foundation in academics and good values. She is also the Chief Operating Officer of the Agribusiness Cluster of the Jospon Group of Companies, and she serves as CEO of the African Agribusiness Consortium and Shillong Meat and Fisheries Limited, where she leads important agricultural projects, including a large commercial rice farming initiative that is helping improve food security and create opportunities for women in Ghana, local rice. Her business journey began in 2005 when she founded St. Josco for Women in Ghana. Her business journey for St. Josco Ventures. Over the years, she has grown her work into several successful businesses, including Haven Events, Haven Christian Guest House, Haven Trading, Haven Realties, and Haven Crystals Travel and Tour, beyond her executive roles. Dr. Siaw Agyepong is a shareholder in AH Hotel, Omni Basic Bank, JA Plants Pool, and Metro TV, showing her strong interest and investment in Ghana's hospitality, banking, logistics, and media sectors. She is everywhere. It's already overwhelming. She is driven by her concern for societies less fortunate and underprivileged. So some of us qualify, thank you. Dr. Adelaide Araba founded the Liberty for Societies for House Foundation in 2014. The foundation provides comprehensive support to widows and needy students, offering educational scholarships for brainy but needy students and vocational training while instilling Christian values. Her dedication to this cause earned her the West African Nobles Forum Award for humanitarian efforts. Dr. Siaw Agyepong holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Human Resource Management, an LLB from GAMPA, an MBA in Finance from Liberty University, and a professional diploma from the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply in the UK, and will soon be a PhD holder in agribusiness. Yes. In 2014, she was awarded an honorary doctorate in Advanced Studies in Entrepreneurship by Azteca University and Cardinal Training Academy in recognition for her work in business and community development. She has received several awards, including Women Entrepreneur of the Year at the 2023 National Governance and Business Leadership Awards and a Woman of the Year in Education Management and International Relations in the 2023 Women's Choice Africa Awards. And through her leadership, innovation, and dedication to helping others, Dr. Mrs. Siaw Agyepong continues to make a positive impact in Ghana and beyond. And he is here to make impact in our lives within this GAAE conference. And so please, let's appreciate her with a warm welcome as she mounts the podium to inspire us. Yes, to inspire us with her glamour, making agriculture sexy, and being example to many. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gifty Boachi. That was an elaborate one. And I really appreciate you. You didn't miss anything. And I appreciate you for that. Madam Chairperson, or Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Minister, I hope Honorable is watching virtually. Distinguished scholars, respected policymakers, colleagues in the agribusiness community, and our dear students and guests, good morning. It is a real pleasure and a privilege to join you here today at the annual Ghana Association of Agriculture Economists Conference. I wish to commend the organizers for their vision and commitment to advancing conversations that truly matter for Ghana and Africa, for selecting a theme that is both timely and highly relevant to our continent's development. This theme could not have come at a better time. When I received the invitation to serve as a guest speaker for this year's GAAE conference, I must admit that I was deeply honored, although perhaps I saw it coming. Yet when I finally sat down to reflect on what to speak about, I paused for a moment. I wanted to find a subject that truly represented not only the theme for the conference, but also what the African Agribusiness Consortium stands for. As I reflected on the theme for this year's conference, Transforming Agri-Food Systems in Developing Economies Through Sustainable Agribusiness Development, I realized that the question we must all continue to confront is how to make research matter, how to turn the wealth of ideas, data, and innovation around us into meaningful outcomes for farmers, enterprises, and economies. That very question was what convinced me that AAC should not only participate, but also support this year's GAAE conference. It aligns perfectly with our mission to connect knowledge with enterprise and to strengthen the bridge between academic insight and practical transformation. And that is precisely what I wish to share with you today. Around the world, conversations of food systems are changing. Issues of climate change, global trade disruptions, nutrition, and youth employment have made agriculture a defining frontier for both economic resilience and human survival. And yet, for Africa, agriculture is not just an economic sector. It is our identity, our heritage, and our future. When we talk about agricultural transformation in Africa, there is one explanation that immediately comes up, and I am sure many of us in this room have said it many times: the gap between research and practice. It is the most common and most accepted diagnosis of our agricultural challenges, and indeed, that gap exists. There are excellent studies, tested technologies, and strong recommendations that never quite make it into large-scale practice. But as I reflected more deeply on this issue, I began to ask myself whether that is really the full story. It is only a matter of a gap between research and practice. Or is there something else that runs deeper? I believe there is a deeper cause that explains why proven solutions are still not being implemented. The truth is that our challenge is twofold. On one side, there is an institutional divide, a structural separation between research and enterprise that limits communication, collaboration, and that we often avoid confronting. Weak systems of adoption, financing, and continuity. We know what to do, but we do not have the systems, the structures, and financial consistency to make it happen. Our institutions are underfunded. Our projects are short-lived, and our financing systems are not aligned with the long-term demands of agricultural innovation. This realization is not abstract to me. It is at the core of this why the Agribusiness Consortium was established. Before AAC came into being, The Just Fund Group had already achieved success in several industries, including sanitation, logistics, finance, and technology, which were all contributing to national development. But one growing concern was becoming impossible to ignore, which is Ghana's rising food import bill. Every year, billions of cedis left our economy to import products we have the capacity to produce. It was a contradiction that reflected the broader challenge facing Africa, a continent of potential still dependent on external supply for basic food security. Our executive chairman, Dr. Joseph Siaw Agyepong, was deeply concerned about this. He believed that if Ghana could organize and scale local production efficiently, we could drastically reduce imports and even become a net exporter of food. This conviction led him to create an agribusiness cluster within the Just Fund Group. The aim was to have a cluster that would demonstrate how the private sector could lead agricultural transformation through investment, innovation, and partnership. Knowing my passion for agriculture and belief in its power to transform lives, he entrusted me with the responsibility of leading this vision. Before we began, we traveled extensively to Argentina, Brazil, Thailand, Russia, Japan, and to many countries, including African countries as well, to study how these nations had succeeded in building resilient agricultural economies. We saw advanced technologies, best practices, large agricultural machinery, various sustainable farming systems, and even fully automated farms. What we discovered was that none of these successes came solely from the process itself. They succeeded because they developed strong, well-funded systems that linked research, industry, and policy in a continuous cycle. Their scientists were properly funded, their projects were coordinated, and their policies remained stable across political changes. In other words, they created the conditions that allowed research to become practice. When we returned home, we were determined to apply those lessons. But as we began our work, we realized that Ghana and many parts of Africa continue to struggle with the same systemic weaknesses, including poor coordination, limited funding, inconsistent policy, and fragile institutions. Our projects often start with enthusiasm, but lack the necessary support to transition from pilot to national scale. Ministries, research institutions, and private actors work hard, but in isolation. Each operates with different timelines, priorities, and accountability systems. The outcome is that progress, though visible, remains fragmented and slow. The issue, therefore, is not that we lack ideas or that we do not understand what to do. The issue is that our structures do not sustain action long enough to produce meaningful change. Implementation is often left to chance. Financing is short-term, and political cycles interrupt continuity. In essence, we have built a strong foundation of knowledge, but a weak superstructure of practice. Until we address this imbalance, the research practice gap will remain a symptom of deeper systemic failures. If Africa is to move from research to reality, then our approach must change. First, financing must align with our ambitions. Agricultural research and implementation cannot depend on irregular donor support or short-term project funding. We need long-term blended financing mechanisms that support innovation from experimentation through to adoption. Second, we must strengthen institutional coordination. Ministries, research institutions, universities, and private actors must operate under a coherent framework that aligns objectives, timelines, and reporting systems. Third, we must invest in capacity, not only technical capacity, but managerial and entrepreneurial capacity that can translate knowledge into viable business modules. And finally, we must protect policy continuity. Agricultural transformation cannot happen within a single political term. It requires stable institutions that survive transitions and maintain a shared national vision. At the African Agribusiness Consortium, we have tried to model this approach through our partnerships with scientists, financiers, and development institutions. We have seen how collaboration, when supported by resources and guided by data, can deliver results. But this cannot remain the work of a few institutions. It must become a collective national agenda. Development partners, donors, and investors must begin to channel resources not only to studies and pilots, but also to implementation platforms that can demonstrate tangible impact. AAC is one of such platforms, but to integrate research, policy, and enterprise under one coordinated system. Any financier supporting AAC is therefore not an act of goodwill, but an investment in Ghana's capacity to transform knowledge into food security, jobs, and economic competitiveness. Distinguished guests, I believe Africa's problem has never been a lack of research or innovation. Our challenge has been the inability to sustain what we start. We have traveled widely, learned from others, and designed excellent frameworks, but we often stop short of full execution. The time has come to change that. We must act on what we know, finance what we believe in, and protect what we build. As an African proverb reminds us, knowledge is like a garden. If it is not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. The knowledge has already been cultivated by our researchers, our universities, and our farmers. What remains is to nurture it with consistency, investment, and coordination so that its harvest may finally be realized. If we can bridge, thank you. Thank you so much. If we can bridge that divide, not only between research and practice, but between knowledge, Africans' agriculture will not remain a vision. It will become our collective reality. To the leadership of the Ghana Association of Agricultural Economists, I wish to commend you once again for your commitment to advancing research, policy, and practice in our agricultural space. We commend GAAE for the hard work. Your work is essential in shaping the thinking that must guide Africans' food systems for the future. I am hopeful that the deliberations, collaborations, and insights shared at this year's conference will inspire new partnerships and catalyze solutions that will not remain on paper, but find expression in our farms, markets, policies, and institutions. On behalf of the African Agribusiness Consortium and the Just Fund Group, I wish the GAAE a continuous strength, growth, and influence. May this year's conference be a fruitful one, and may the knowledge generated here empower us to build a more resilient, competitive, and prosperous agricultural future for Ghana and ultimately for Africa. Thank you. As I wish us all a successful and impactful conference. Thank you very much. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Woman power. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Thanks to you.